How are we getting on, folks? Look at today was pretty exceptional. Um, Obviously, look, it started off the day very well with Howling Wolf at 5-1. That ended up going into 4-1. Asta Dash, my God, very unlucky. Um, Definitely thought we were in with a squeak with maybe a couple of 100 yards to go. The horse on the outside just did get a little bit better of us. But look at fair play to Colin Keane and Stormy Jen, winner at 16-1. That was the pinnacle of the day. Brilliant, brilliant ride. Just settled off in behind the leaders and waited for a cutaway then and literally just set sail for home and wasn't going to be caught. Brilliant, brilliant ride by Colin, in fairness to him. But overall, very, very happy with that. On to tomorrow. And I know, look at this page is known for the big price each ways, but being realistic, there's not going to be too much like that now tomorrow. It looks a fairly, I wouldn't say a fairly solid card, but there's not necessarily too many of the bigger priced options that I'm liking here now tomorrow. First race off is, I suppose, a good example of it. Alice Averill is a no bet at 8-15 on. Safe to say she is going to win this doing backward handstands. She's actually currently priced at 8-13. She looks to be the bee's knees in this race. Not necessarily too much else going on in here worth screaming and shouting about. Could potentially be Henry de Bromhead 1, 2, 3, 4, but in terms of trying to find something that's worthy of taking it on, down the cellar probably for Edward O'Grady, but it's no price for an each way. I think realistically, you're better off just leaving the race and watching it, and just, I suppose, appreciating a good round of jumping, which Alice Averill has done in the past, and she's sure to do again here. I'd have no problem in saying that Alice Averill is going to win this, but at a price of 8-13, I'm not going to take it myself. Next race off then, the 5:45, and this one a little bit trickier, but there's one in here that I'm very much liking, and he's currently priced at 5-1. It's Pat Coyne. Generally very, very consistent for John Queally and Hugh Morgan. Look, at realistically, it's a fairly open race, but has come very, very close in the past. Really and truly, Pat Coyne looks like it's one of the more likelier ones here now tomorrow. In terms of this Bold Emperor, I don't know. I think he looks. Look, don't get me wrong. He looks to be the one they all have to beat, regardless. But there's more letters than numbers to his name this season, and that for me is just a little bit of a worry there, taking him at 3-1. Look, at Tom Gibney is in great form. Darrell O'Keefe is probably going to be aiming for this double here now tomorrow, this quick fire double in the first two races. But really and truly, I'd be worried about his jumping. I just think that Pat Coyne is a more experienced chaser and a more consistently placed chaser. Generally does show a great run and is a fairly sound jumper. So you put the 2 and 2 together, I definitely think he's coming in here with a realistic chance. I think 5-1 is overpriced. I think he'd be a little bit closer to Bold Emperor, especially if he was able to get his head in front in those recent runs. But I'd have absolutely no problem in backing him at 5-1. I think he is going to run a fairly decent race, and 5-1 is definitely going to give you a good run for your money either way. Next race off then, and this one here is going to be my nap of the day. Brideshill should be winning this doing backward handstands. When you look at the form, just trying to find it here. It was a very, very good second in Galway there a couple of weeks ago. Just going into that Galway run here, that was behind Clonbury Bridge ahead of Carrican, Insane Bolt, Decimal Day, First Touch, Hagrantia de Tay, and Carawan. Now, it was a wide open race that particular day. You could have made cases for an awful lot of them. Knight and Malta ran in that race and didn't necessarily run a bad one here today in Goran Park, but I would be thinking that this Brides Hill coming down into more realistic company, I definitely think Even Money looks to be the one they all have to beat anyway. There's no doubt about that. And I definitely think it is going to take some stopping, and Even Money looks to be a great chance to double your money. Either way, Even Money is even money at the end of the day. Now, next race off then, 6:45, and this one here going to be my only each way play of the day, and this one here going for Kieran Murphy and Paul Cawley. This one here going with Bridge Native, currently priced at 7-1. I absolutely love the look of this mare. That run she put up in, I think it was the Blazers, either the Blazers or the Plate. No, it wasn't even the Blazers or the Plate. It was the race after the Plate. Behind Abbey Magic, Benefit Run, and Zakariva, ahead of Star Max. Exit Pole was a very talented sort. Ingleby McKenzie, Andalusia, Charlie Stout, Valju, Shoe Time, Tiger Vice. They're just to name a few. If it puts in the same sort of run as it did that day, and she jumps like she did, I definitely think she's coming in here with a serious chance. I think 7-1 is massively overpriced. I think she is going to be an awful lot shorter by this time tomorrow. And yeah, I think it's definitely well worth an each way play. I think it's safe playing each way. Just potentially could meet one that's going to be too good now tomorrow, but I'd have absolutely no problem in saying the Bridge Native is going to win now tomorrow. But at the price, 7-1, definitely well worth an each way. Next race off then, the 7:15. And I'm going to take a bit of a chance here now. There's a horse that I quite like, currently priced at 13-2. It was a very, very good winner in Roscommon last time out, and it was fairly well gambled on. The last day it was supposed to run, that was in Tramore itself, and it ended up being pulled out. I think it was a stone bruise. But Benny's Tiara for Mike O'Connor and Henry de Bromhead. Local yard, you cannot complain with that. I definitely think Benny's Tiara is the one they all have to beat here now today. If it runs like it did that day in Roscommon, it's going to be a very, very hard horse to stop. It's going to go practically from, I think it was set off in mid-division that particular day. Not 100% sure. I'd have to watch the race here now. I'm on a different software that I'm looking up me form and everything else like that. Like, so it's a little bit different than what I'm used to. But yeah, Benny Tiara put in a very good run, came there on the snaff, and literally just took off for home. And if it runs like it did that particular day, it jumped very, very well as well. It looked like it was it's definitely going to come on for that particular run. And looks to me that this horse has been potentially aimed at this festival in Tramore, and I definitely think what price is it? 13-2. I definitely think that's well worth a play there now tomorrow. You could do an awful lot worse, and I definitely think it is going to be literally bang there in the finish. Next race off then, the 7:45, and I'm going with an older horse here, a veteran, but a very, very nice veteran at that. Naturally Blonde, currently priced at 11-2. I definitely think this one for me is going to be the next best of the day. Very, very, very impressive winner last time out in Killarney. Course and distance winner. You want course and distance form as well, especially around Tramore. Shane Fitzgerald is just absolutely riding out of his skin. There's no point in beating around the bush. He's one of the best claimers that we have. He's a free £7. I still cannot understand how people are overlooking him, especially being a £7 claimer. He's gonna get rid of that £7 very, very soon. I could imagine, but really definitely think that Naturally Blonde is going to go from the front and try and play a bit of catch me if he can here. Shane Fitzgerald, perfect man for the job for that. I would say Danny Mullins naturally, but obviously look at with Danny Mullins still out with injury, Shane Fitzgerald is definitely a very, very decent replacement. Tramore as well. You need to be there near the front in Tramore. You can't be coming there from too far back and coming there with one last sweep. It's a tricky old course to get right, and it's a tricky old course to read. But generally, if you have one that's going to bounce out in front and really sort of try and string them along, especially in the inclines and the declines, in the undulations, you could call them, definitely very, very interesting. I think Naturally Blonde here. I think what price is it? 11-2. Yeah, massive odds. That's my next best of the day. Finally, then actually the 8:15 is my patron pick of the day, so I'm not going to be covering it. But I really do like this particular horse. I think it's got a great chance. For those who are lucky enough to have gotten on my tips there today, I want to say well done to you all. There has been a couple of complaints my end there about the comments. There's a few people saying that the comments have been turned off. I'm not 100% sure what's happening there. My comment section looks to be fairly okay, but that could be just me being the creator as well. I'm going to try and fix it now. So if you want to leave a comment, please do. Please keep sharing, liking, doing whatever you can, get the word out there. We want to really start pushing for this, and most importantly as well, hit that red button down below if you haven't already done so. Really does help me out at the end of the day. We're on 543 for the past, I think, 5 or 6 days now, so want to start getting that a little bit more and get more people subscribed to the channel, just so for your own sake you don't miss out. I'm going to leave a link in the Patreon link in the description for the Patreon account as well. That is if you feel that little bit more generous and you want to get that extra bit for value for your money. It's basically €10 a month, but as well as that, we do monthly giveaways. We gave away a share and a horse there this month. We've a fairly decent WhatsApp group as well with plenty of tips and everything going around, and it basically helps run the podcast and the Irish Racing Hour, which is what we do. We basically go around and go to different people, places, courses, yards, whatever you can think of, whatever you'd like to see on the channel. We're going to do our living best to go and do it. For the sake of €10 a month, it's the price of a pint for myself and Ryan, the two lads involved in it. It's not that much for a month. And looking at our competitors and wouldn't call them rivals as such, but just the overall competition, we are definitely the cheapest out there in the market. And we just give that little bit, we go that little bit extra to try and find the best value overall for yourself, and the betting tips and everything else like that. But look at the very, very best of luck tomorrow. Link to the description below for Patreon. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing and subscribing, and the very, very best of luck tomorrow.